Welcome back, anglers. I'm the Survivalist, and we return to Call of the Wild, the Angler. So I have to admit, my first impressions of the game have been rather okay for it so far. Now, this is still pretty early into the game and tutorial stuff we're going through, and we'll probably continue that with all the golden little tutorial things up there you see. But one thing I do have to say I'm quite surprised at is this game released, I think it was like the last week of August or something like that. I can't remember if it was August 30th or around there the game came out. But since then, there have been 5 hotfix patches they've done for Call of the Wild, the Angler. So that basically means there's been a patch or work done or fixes every week since it released. And though it did come out in pretty bad shape from like the mostly negative reviews and a lot of stuff there, you do have to take a moment to go, whoa, they really are trying to focus hard and polish this up. So I do have to say, it does look like they are going to really work at making Call of the Wild the Angler kind of like a match to Call of the Wild the Hunter. Now that also does bring me into some territory where it's going to be like, okay, I think there are 12 species of fish I can go for on this map. I don't know if they're only going to have a single map included with the base game. And yeah, DLC is where things might be a little, I mean, I hate to use the word, but fishy does apply here. Because one of the problems with Call of the Wild the Hunter is DLC always seems to come out with a number of pretty big breaks, bugs, glitches, what have you, and issues. And some get resolved, but oftentimes there are things that still remain stuck as they are, and then new paid DLC comes out even before those fixes were put in place with the previous DLC. So I don't know if Call of the Wild the Angler will be like that or not. It's, again, one of those things that's going to have to see as it goes. But let's see what we might want to go for. Okay, so I'm guessing the kokanee salmon, the bluegill, the northern pike, there are some things that will unlock with more time. Let's just start with the largemouth bass. I think that's pretty... Actually, no, I'm going to go for yellow perch. That's actually something I've fished for myself a few times. Fish most commonly found when the sun is out. Best luck finding this fish when the sun is out. Confirmed. About yellow perch. Yellow perch are relatively small predatory fish with a preference for clear and slow-flowing water bodies. These fish are found in all but the coldest and steepest parts of lower elevation water bodies. Look for them in rivers, lakes, and ponds in Diamond Peak and Ruby River Range. Now, I don't know if those are like parts of this Golden Ridge Reserve, or they gotta be, I guess. If it's here, yeah, it has. Okay, so those are little regions. Perch tend to bite quick and fight hard despite their size, but they have few distinguishing features beyond this. Yellow perch are very picky about the kind of baits and lures they chase. Recommended are a bloodworm for float tackle or spinner lure with hook size 7. Once bought, equip using quick menu or rod menu. Okay, so that I want to change to that, and then basically, oh
boy, have I got a deal for you.
I'm not going to buy anything yet. I forgot her name already. I'm a horrible person, but I already know that. It probably even said it right there at bottom, and I just...
There's still more to
Sophia.
buy. Come back.
Yes, I am a horrible person, but at least I have a little clue that that's her name. Now, one of the comments on the premiere video for Call of the Wild the Angler was Danger Floof, who was kind of a little skeptical and wary of the game, and easily understandable so. But one of the things they kind of pointed out, or in their opinion, is they felt like if it's a fishing game, a lot of the open world aspect, like driving and all this open other area, doesn't feel like it's going to... It kind of feels like it's more dead space than anything. But to me, I think I actually kind of like that there's going to be driving and going around, stuff like that. Because if it is just, you're kind of plunked at a single spot or very limited around a lake, it might get kind of dull quick that you don't have any travel or you can't go sightsee or stuff like that. This adds a little bit of some stuff to do, and they did make it so I think there's going to be a few objectives you could do outside of fishing. Like when we talked to the warden last episode, there's things like landmarks to go see or discover, invasive species to report. Small things like that which help kind of differentiate it, and say you don't want to fish all the time, you could just do your own thing in some ways. drive straight out first, and then we'll go over here. I still can't get over that driving the boat is, like, smoother and easier to do than driving the Jeeps. I don't know if it's just because, like, the turn sensitivity, or there's, like, an acceleration in using the key inputs. Yeah, we're going to head out for this spot so you can catch this perch. And probably just take a little look around some other stuff, too. Because, again, the map is pretty big. Like, this is just one little aspect of it. You can see there are lakes, rivers, everything kind of tucked all over the place. And those pathways aren't, like, sealing you off from walking off into the woods. If you want to, you can go walking into the woods a bit. Actually, that might be a neat little activity to include in the game is you could buy bait from the shops, but maybe you could find little spots out in the world where you could go and, like, collect your own bait, so you can save a bit of credits if you're willing to spend the time to go and get that. Some people might find it a hassle and they'll just want to buy the bait themselves, but it would be a fun challenge, something to do where you basically are able to... Okay, maybe that's just something in the water. What is with that weird... It's like there's something swimming here. Alright, I gotta equip the rod to get out of the boat. And then you can't really move around or change position. Oh no, I can. It's E changes position. Or maybe not, I guess because... Yeah, it's a little stiff in the boats, but yeah, I don't mind there's like this open worldness to it. I do think they could, again, it's how they expand on this base. I think what this is kind of a way to test the... I don't know why I keep going into these kind of puns in this talk, but to test the waters and see how well received the game is. If there's demand and interest in it, maybe they'll see about trying to expand into As Danger Flew, and I think I commented last episode too, is going to like oceanic fishing or deep sea fishing, like fly fish. You could expand into a lot of ways. Oh, hold on a minute. I want to swing back around, because that's actually one of the invasive plant species we were supposed to report about.
That right there is a nasty hyacinth that'll put the whole park up the spout. Can you find me many more, buckaroo?
Okay, so there is also seeming to be a level system. I mean, there is level system on the gear that is familiar to the Hunter Classic, but things like that make me wonder if there's a base leveling system, sort of like how Call the Wild has for your Hunter more so than the gear itself. But yeah, I gotta admit, even with my PC being a bit older and some things might look a little graphically off, it still is running fairly smoothly in that for the game. So if you guys are still on the fence, granted it's maybe a little bit of self-plug, but I'd say keep watching around with us and see. We'll get more time in with things, test it all out, see how it feels, and just give a little bit more of a longer hands-on exposure with how the angler plays and what it's like. I am a little worried that because it is basically just float fishing and spin casting or spin fishing or lure fishing, you can tell I'm not very fluent in the world of fishing as a hobby or pastime. But basically, I'm just kind of worried that because there's only those two types, would it kind of lose some of its appeal after enough time? Yeah, and then for how I've had, or when I've gone after perch, usually it's trying to get into like the foliage bit, or like into the weeds here. Let me see. Okay, one thing that is a little weird is there's almost like a delay for when it comes to like changing your seating. Okay, so let me remember this. Right-click primes us. Oh no, that's right. Right-click is literally quick cast out. Although I do want to test and see if maybe I can cast out further if I'm looking higher up. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to bring this right in. Let me just see if I can cast further out. Okay, so if I look, like, up there... Yeah, so it's whole... Oh, no, actually, it locks you into this view. I honestly don't think I went all that much further. Alright, so we'll just let that sit for a little while, see if anything does come for our bait or not. I usually thought when I've gone for perch is try and get into, like, the weed beds or stuff like that. So hopefully... I also don't know how deep I gotta set the hook, or, like, the hook length down between the float. There's one... Actually, I don't know if there's, like, an upgrade to get, like, a fish finder that will help tell you water depth or not. That might be something that would be handy to go back to the, shop and check out. And I also should look to see, because I do have some credits, what other stuff I might want to buy or pick up. But for myself, I'd probably say I prefer float fishing, but I could see the appeal of, like, trolling or... I'm trying to think if there's another name for it. Yeah, I'd probably like float fishing because I think one of the nice things about fishing is you can get this relaxing thing where you don't have to engage all that much. Just float out in the water, relax, don't worry about, like, trying to be impatient almost with it. This is something you can relax, take your time with, and leave it go. And I say that and I'm actually going to try to get a little further into the weeds there. I mean, I call them weeds, but I don't think they actually are. I think my family and who I fish with just call it that because they're impatient fishing and they don't like getting snagged up or possibly getting into this stuff. Let's just do a quick cast. Let's say over there. But yeah, I do think this is definitely going to be a nice wind-down game that I could see after the first few weeks of it, maybe moving it to the weekends as like a follow-up for a hunting game. It's just kind of how the two pair up for outdoorsy feeling, don't they? And now, this is also going to be one that's going to be a bit different because... I mean, kind of like hunting, it's not so much you'll get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity in quick succession. It's probably going to be more you'll take your time, slowly go through, just relax a bit. So this almost might be something I have to treat like a podcast series, where I gotta find a topic to talk about for the weekend, so that way while we wait on a fish to strike it all, we could go through with that. And just take our time and enjoy that as something. Kind of hoping maybe something would take that. I'm not really seeing anything too much around the water. Maybe I'll try changing seats and go over to the left, or try tossing it over that way. I don't know if it's because I've done, like, a lot of other series where it's always trying to keep you guys entertained with content or something going on. I just have this restlessness to me, but I'm going to try to work at curing that. Because, again, I just do this because I enjoy it, not really with a goal in mind. And let's wind her up. It's somewhere in there. Yeah, I'm just going to bring it forward a little bit. Although one nice thing about a fishing game compared to real life is you don't have to worry about snags with your line or that. There are probably certain ways and setups that you can basically have it so you don't snag your line at all on anything. But just having it in the game, there's that convenience, you don't have to worry about it at all. Yeah, it's just take her easy, sit back, relax, enjoy looking around some nature. It might be neat if there were, like, a few animals just kind of roaming about. Like, even if they're... Like, you can't engage with them at all, but it's just something you can see that's like, okay, the map has more life to it than, like, there's nothing here. Right, I kind of think I've forgotten, okay, I think it's just a little perch. Let's see. Yeah, that's a little perch. Well, that might actually be adult. It doesn't say, like, juvenile or anything like that, but... I think what I forgot to do... God, we also do need a better character creator. Because, like, my lord... The character model, it just looks weird, and the hair does not look kind of good with it. Okay, so it actually is looking to get us to go to a river now. And then I have to imagine there's actually nothing like you have to worry about running out of fuel either. Although this actually is probably a bit of a dangerous thing to be doing. Weaving through the rocks and that. But let's just head over here and see. Okay, let me take a little look around. You know, maybe... I wonder if that's one of the reasons why I was having a little bit of trouble, is that I set my hook depth a little too much. It's like, as much as I can set it all the way down to, like, 1.5 meters, it's still just trying to figure out how deep is this area of water. Well, let's just try a quick cast over there. Gotta remember, right-click sets the hook, and then we can kind of engage proper. It's been a little bit since I did record last episodes for the Angler. But so far, I don't really have anything that's, like, lasting as a negative. Like, there is the dumb choice of the options, and I think that could have been cleared up if there's just a statement to say, like, they're going to do a benchmark to see what the PC can handle, and that'll then give you the settings for, like, the game. Because that's something that you can do at times, is games will have, like, a built-in benchmark test, where you can set a few settings, let it run, and it'll kind of track how well performance went through the test. So maybe that's what that first, like, opening cutscene and why it goes from, like, very few options to then the proper option menu afterwards. But, yeah, I haven't really found anything lasting negative with it. Like, I will take a look to the water. See, I don't really see anything that bad with it or flickering or anything of the like yet. To be honest, I think the game is looking really good. Well, most part. I can kind of see, like, looking at the foliage here and that, it kind of looks... Might be because my computer can't handle the graphics so well, but it kind of looks a little bit like a pixelated green mess in a way. Yeah, nothing there. Let's see if I can try over this way a bit more. And let's try a full cast. I do want to check and see, too, once we get to a shop, like, if there are specifics each of the rod-reel combos can give. Oh, and then there's even a little tower up there I could go to, probably. I'll just take our time, enjoy nature, watch the breeze blowing by. This, again, is going to be fantastic little just take her easy, relax to, and enjoy your time with. That leaves me to put whatever chaos or crazy stuff I want for the middle of the week then, or throughout the week, and once the angler does move over. Well, there are fish here. Almost taunted us doing that little flip over there. We'll just leave the float there for a while and see. Oh, I think something's going for it. Yeah, you can actually see the fish swimming up towards it. Yeah, I think because it's just a little perch, it doesn't really have enough fight in it to really make us worry about not being able to bring her in. Yeah, there we go. Actually, that one's getting a few achievements in that. And then, yeah, God, like, the hair does not even look like hair. I don't know, again, if it's just because my graphics are that bad, or it's like such a bad toupee placed on our head. Not even meant to look like hair. I think I'm going to have to get us a hat soon. Okay, we'll return to seat. And I do have a little bit of time, so you know what? Just going to see if I can get us... I guess closest place would actually just be to see if we can get a little bit onto the shore here. Yeah, you just park right there. We're going to head up for this little fire watch tower. I mean, might as well since we came all the way out here, and then we'll see about working our way back to the shop and going from there. But yeah, I know if you have like certain dedicated fishing games where you don't really have an open world aspect, I guess if you wanted to take a break, you would just leave the game and play something else. I kind of like having there some other activities you could do. And then also, you could be exploring and figuring out new areas you might like to go fish at. Like a little pond. Although I do hear like the weird... I'm guessing this is what it wants us to find. Oh, bit of litter art, maybe? I'm not even sure what that is. Spanish companionship dollar. Okay, odd. Oh, and there's something there. Golden Ridge Reserve, Diamond's Peak. Okay.
Later, American trappers rendered the French name in English as Golden Ridge Reserve. I quite like the old moniker, but hey, the new one's not too shabby.
Yeah, like, look at all that area you can go to, and it's just like the Hunter class, or, well, both the Hunters, you're going to have a lot of room to enjoy and play and try stuff out at. Yeah, you know what, maybe we'll just fish for a little bit more. I'm going to try to aim for probably the same length around my Hunter videos are. It's maybe about half-hour-ish, give or take some minutes. That'll just be something good we can relax with. Well, let's just try this little pond here and... Oh! Purple loosestrife.
Color. That's a purple loosestrife if ever I saw one. These plants have me on my last nerve, buckaroo. Tell me where I can find them.
And we got little stuff like that. Now, if I do escape... Okay, so I just want to go through. Yeah, so we got game guide, we got favors, we got tutorial missions. Oh, that's quite a tutorial mission to visit all those places. Then yeah, dinosaur bones, oxeye daisies, purple loosestrife, water hyacinth, and Engelmann spruce are things to look for. We've got kind of like the game guide stuff there. Okay, so these are all the different fish that we'll be able to go for. Largemouth bass, smallmouth, bluegill, channel catfish, yellow perch, northern pike. Those guys are a good fight. The lake that I've usually fished at, you get one on the line, you know you got one on the line. Kokanee salmon, sauger, golden trout, lake trout, rainbow trout, mountain whitefish. Then latest catches, coins we found, lost things, figures, notes. There's gonna be stuff to find. The only thing I'm looking for is, unless maybe our level is just what we can unlock. Oh. Okay, so we got jig head spinning, lure spinning, and float fishing. So there are 3 kind of styles. I guess maybe our level is going to dictate what gear we can use or buy in the shop. Let's just try a little bit of this pond, then we'll see about heading back to where we were. Stop by Sophia's shop and just pick some stuff up. Actually, when we get back, I don't think we have the option to go after the northern pike yet. So maybe I'll try seeing about maybe like a lake trout or something else. We'll see if we can catch one more fish and then head to the boat and maybe even just end the episode driving ourselves back and getting to there. This is one of the series that I probably would worry about on if it could keep retention or not. Like, this might be one of my guilty pleasure series I just keep doing out Saturdays and Sundays, the afternoons, after this initial run on Tuesdays, Thursdays. Just because I do enjoy the game, I like fishing, I like just this relaxing little vibe it gives off. It's just a fine way to spend a little bit of time. And if I can talk with you guys, or you guys have questions you'd like me to answer in that in the series or go on with, I'd be happy to. You just let me know in the comments. Might even enjoy a drink myself. Just water, but still good. And just like fishing it is, just drop a line in, wait a while, and see if anything happens or not. Though I don't know if there's like day-night cycle. I have to imagine there is, but I don't know if I have anything like a flashlight. Unless maybe it's just weather changes. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to look at the shadows on, like, the mountain face there. They aren't really moving all that much to say, like, one way or the other. I'm going to just maybe... 1, 2, 3. Toss that over there, and then maybe we'll just see if anything is drawn to it or not. Yeah, thought we'd try to get one thing from this little pond, and then we'll get to the boat and head out. Just going to try to keep the line from being too slack on us. It looks like we might not be in luck for getting anything. Yeah, I think I'm going to pull the line in. I'm not seeing anything even trying to approach or any bites. So we'll just bring her on in, and then we'll head on our way. One nice thing is the little compass in the bottom left will just be a good way to know where your boat or vehicle might be for getting out places. Let's just rush our way back and then drive back to the shop, or I guess, what is that area? There's the shop, there's the warden's office, there's... what else is there? I can't really recall. I guess it's basically just like a little hub for us to use. Let's see, can I push this out a bit? I guess not. I guess maybe as long as you don't actually, like, anchor the boat like I did the hold E option. Let's see, where am I trying to go? Alright, well, let's head to that. It's going to be on our way back, and that could be a little landmark or something. Just need to see. Okay, yeah, so once we take this first left, we'll be into a bit of a... Okay, for some reason, M will bring up the map, but... oh, it will close. It almost feels like there's a little bit of a delay. Like, you can bring up the map, but then you have to wait a moment or two to then be able to close it again. Let's just quickly weave our way through this a bit and see what this little spot up here is. Oh, looks like another lookout tower. There is a little Jeep spot where if we wanted to call our Jeep, we could. So maybe what we'll do is we'll just clear off this little fire watch tower and then end this episode here with that. And we can even just dock the boat right here. Oh, or is that the spot we actually already reported? Let me just take a look. I think that's what we already reported, but... yeah, it is. Not that we should be driving through and clipping it up, because that would probably just give it a chance to spread more. Although, I got not exactly clearest entry into here. And then, be honest, the tires do seem a little low compared to, like, where the boat is. The reason why those are there is basically as the boat rocks on the water, it's not smacking up against the wood of the dock. But yeah, the way they're positioned, they look too low to actually do their job. Oh, got a level up. New fast travel location unlocked. And I'm just going to head up to the lookout tower to survey the area, and then we'll end the episode off with that. Not sure why all the birds are around this spot, though, unless there's something to find. Yeah, I'm going to head up and see if there's anything I can actually spot from afar, because, like, this many ravens, or crows or ravens around this one makes me think there's maybe, like, a carcass or something they're all attracted to. There is something here that's making, like, the... Is it just this? Oh, no, right here. Another coin? Taylor's Tackles token. No, I don't see anything that's kind of drawing all the birds here. Huh. Well, let's just survey.
The human history of the park itself began at least 11,000 years ago, when the ancestors of the contemporary Shoshone began to hunt and fish in the region. Obsidian, which you'll see dotted around the park, was a key part of their culture.
So there's another spot out on one of the islands. But I think we are just going to work at getting ourselves back to the base, or kind of the hub here, and seeing what we can do with the shop. For now, though, we're going to leave this episode of The Angler right here. Thank you all very much for joining me on this episode of the series. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure in the comments right down below. Until I do see you in the next video or episode, survivors and anglers, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy angling. Fishing. Angling? Fishing. Happy angling.